Every family deserves a place to call a home, and if you are the type who is looking for lands to buy in Accra, then of course Prampram is the best place and one of the best choices you could ever make, and I promise you. So if you are looking to live on the coast, then I think you should look at Prampram, and I'm going to explain to you why you should consider Prampram as the best place to buy your lands and build your dream home. This is We Are Ghanaian channel, and I welcome you on board, and I also encourage you to subscribe to this channel and also click on the bell notification so that each time we upload a video you will be notified. So if you have been dreaming of buying a land in Greater Accra and precisely on the coast, then I'm going to show you around Prampram. This is the Celestial area, okay? This is Prampram Celestial. This is Prampram proper, deep inside Prampram. And we are going to look around the residential places where lands have already been sold and where lands are still being sold. And this video will help you to make your choice even easier, okay? So as you look around, you see, what is going on here and why you should compare this place to some of the places you are already considering here in Ghana, or especially in the Greater Accra, and the choice will be yours, okay? So this is We Are Ghanaian channel. Why don't you subscribe to this channel, okay? And if you have anything to say, kindly point out in the comment section, and your views and your comments are very, very important to us. This is We Are Ghanaian channel, and thank you for being on board, okay? Welcome on board. As a child growing up at Tema, I always wanted to go and see how the sea looks like, okay? So I had beautiful memories of the sea, beautiful thoughts about going to see the seaside. Until one day I finally got the chance to go to the seaside, okay, and to view the sea, and the feeling was so beautiful. So each time I drive past New Ningo and I see the sea, those memories kind of pops up in my brain, and they bring me very, very, very beautiful memories, okay? And so Prampram is blessed with a coastal view. The sea view is everything, and there are a lot of beautiful projects going on here with lots of huge buildings, making the place look beautiful every other time, okay? So if you are considering living anywhere, if this is the time that you have been given the opportunity to buy a land, then there are some things to consider. One of those things is how the place is rapidly developing. So even if you buy a land here, okay, right now, and you don't even get a chance to build your house, or you finally secure it, you title it and do your registrations, and you're not even able to build anything yet, in a few years to come, that land that you bought around 80,000 here in Prampram could skyrocket to about 3.5 billion cedis. Do you understand? About 350,000 cedis. Why? That is because this place is rapidly developing each and every day, okay? There are lots of projects going on. People are completing their buildings every day, and the population here is gradually increasing, okay? So in a few years to come, when we are buying lands, how developed the places makes the land price shoot, okay? So it's some kind of investment, okay? So I wasn't surprised when I saw that a lot of people have acres of land here, and they are now selling, because so many years ago the price of lands here, I think in 2019, a brother of ours sent us here to ask of the price of land, and I think the prices we're hearing were as low as 12,000, and that's at that time 12,000 cedis or 15,000 or 18,000 cedis was not a joke, and now prices have skyrocketed to about 80,000 per plot. So you can imagine in a few years to come, they are going to even go up more. And with the eminent Accra city, the president of Ghana is considering moving a lot of industries, from their proper places at Accra to this place, to decongest the whole of Accra. Okay, so they are going to build more affordable houses, more industries are going to move here, to make Accra an even populated place. Okay, because Accra is too choked, so the president thought it's wise to move a lot of the industries here. Okay, so you could imagine. So these are some of the reasons why I am encouraging you to buy your lands here, because very soon here is going to be an industrial hotspot, and where industries are, price of lands shoot. Okay, so that is a point 2 for you over there. And also, this place has, if let us go to the long term, view. Okay, the long term view. You're going to live here, you're going to give birth to your children, your family is going to live here. Now, Prampram has a lot of industries. Talk of the paint manufacturing company, the Rainbow Paints Manufacturing Limited. They have a diaper manufacturing company. Every day people give birth, and children need to wear diapers because the napkin era is gone. And they have steel manufacturing companies. So your children are kind of sorted in getting jobs, you understand. Okay, so even you yourself, you could get a job somewhere. If you are not thinking of creating job for yourself, then of course you have a lot of companies to choose from. The Ranan fish feed company, a lot of the Bonago manufacturing company has a lot of opportunities. They are employing people every day, and so those are some of the things to look at. Okay, because there are some places that when you live, your children, even during their national service, they have to look at long distance, and then it's the transportation is even becomes a drain on the pocket. But places like Prampram, the industries are a lot here, and so you have a lot of places to choose from in terms of where to do your national service or where to write your applications to. Also, schools are readily available here. There are a lot of schools around Prampram. So, this place has a senior high, and they are very good. Very good. The Prampram Senior High, the new old Ningo Senior High, they have Bong Senior High at Samakom 25. So your children don't have to travel a long distance to go to maybe Adisado or wherever, and the risk involved. There are schools here in Prampram, a lot of senior high schools to choose from, and they are good. They are doing well academically. Okay, so it will even cut down the cost for you. Okay, so those are some of the things we should look at when we are going to buy lands. Okay, the availability of everything. And come talk of shopping. If you don't want to do your shopping here, then places like Sege and Ashaiman are just, you just have to walk to the roadside, pick a car, and you'll be there, in a few minutes. So those are some of the things to look at. Okay, I'm a woman, so I'm looking at the woman's point of view. We women, our kitchen is very important to us. What our family is going to eat is very important to us. So that is what I would look at. Okay, if I'm shopping, no, what I say. So those are things to consider. And it is said that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So when it's time for me to have a little fun, to release some stress, okay, I don't have to travel to a very long distance, to have a little fun with the family. The beach is a few minutes drive away. If you have to continue 5 more, to go and buy your stuff. A lot of restaurants have their branches here, like Basilisa. Even there's a Melcom shop around here. You could, go and do shopping with the family. You could, and there are lots of Accra price shops out here. Okay, so things are quite cheaper in terms of groceries. They are quite cheaper. Rice, oil, and those stuff, they are quite cheaper here because a lot of their industries are located here. So when they bring it, the price is not that much. It's not that expensive like how you buy it in places like Accra and all that. Okay, so those are some of the things we should look at. So back to the recreational talk that I was talking about. The beach is a few minutes drive. You could cook some banku, with some okra, and garnish it with something nice. You understand? And then you go to the beach, set up an umbrella or something, and enjoy with family. You could play some games by the seaside. Your children could play some football. You release a lot of stress and come back home and bath and sleep. You understand that thing? Okay, you could swim. Swim. All over. Okay, and then when you're done, you could come back home. So these are some of the beautiful things about living in the Ningo Prampram district, and that is why you should consider buying your land here. Okay, and now, because in a few years to come, prices of lands are going to skyrocket. Okay, so in February this year, we joined an estate company to go and view some lands at Chopoli, and at that time their prices were below $2,500, and I even did a video about that, only to come back in May and then to hear that they are no longer 2,500. They have now skyrocketed to 3,500 and dollars. I mean 30,000 cedis and 35,000 cedis for a long, like if you're paying within 6 months, but outright it's 30,000. And we were like, hey, are you not the same place? And they said if we had bought it earlier, we would be taking profit by now if we were selling. And we said, wow, that's a beautiful point. Okay, and some estate companies are even selling their lands, I mean those close to the airport, as high as 50,000 cedis and 35,000 cedis. Those deep, but those close to the new proposed airports, the Chopoli proposed airports, my dear, those on by the roadside, they are going for as high as 50,000 cedis. And I was surprised because a few months ago we came there and they were quite cheaper. So you see, because of the developments here, price of lands keep skyrocketing and they keep getting better. They keep improving, and that's a beautiful thing to look at. So even if you are looking at investment side, okay, you want to do something, instead of putting your money in the bank, don't tell anybody, just use it to buy a land at a safe place, a litigation free land. Wait in the Ningo Prampram district, wait for some few years, give yourself like 2 years. That land that you bought for 35,000 could skyrocket to as high as 50 or 45,000, and at that time you could be taking profit. Or let's say it can even go to 60,000 because Chopoli is opening. Chopoli, the development at Chopoli. Wow, when I got there, in February when we went there, some shops were still being built. Now they are built and they have even been rented out. So what are you waiting for? Don't do, you understand? So talking about budget friendly ones, Chopoli is now developing. Prampram is the developments at Prampram has gone very fast. A lot of people have their lands here, but the Chopoli lands are bare and they are close to the proposed airport, so the price keeps shooting. So if you are thinking of buying your land at Chopoli, you don't want to live at Prampram, but you want it around Chopoli, they are all in the Ningo Prampram district, then this is the time, because they keep skyrocketing. Okay, and those are some of the points to consider. So the earlier the better. So talk of investment, purposes. If you don't want to live here and want to invest somewhere in a land, litigation free ones, get the litigation free ones, register it in your name and take profits later. I've seen a lot of people do that here, and it has worked for them. And one thing about Prampram lands is that immediately you advertise, shim, it is gone. People come and they want to buy like 4 or 5 because they see the potential here, okay, the real estate potential here, and they know that even if they don't want to live here, they could, take profits. You see the Maryland school over there, that area keeps developing. The area is so beautiful. When you go there, the place looks like East Legon. No small house there. Okay, so people are rushing to build their houses. Okay, and those lands that you see there, some have for sale on it because somebody maybe came here, bought some at Temakom 25 and bought some at Prampram, and maybe they built at Temakom 25, so they want to take profit on the Prampram land. You see that gig, so don't dull at all. Okay, so at this point, don't forget to subscribe to this beautiful channel because we talk only sensible things here. Okay, and we show you what you really want to see. Okay, so this is the Prampram celestial area. The fresh air here is so lovely. Okay, you don't have to fix your AC, so the fresh air keeps coming. Wow, it's so nice. It's a beautiful experience. Okay, so why not? Okay, so at this point, I'm going to encourage you to subscribe to this beautiful channel, and don't forget to click on the bell notification so that each time you upload a video, you'll be the first to be notified. And please don't forget to share this video to others. Let them know the opportunities over here. Okay, let's send Prampram up there. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to leave you to look around. Okay, so take a look around. Thank you. Even as you do so. So far so good. So have you seen how this place keeps dripping with beautiful development each time and each day? And the thing here is that there's electricity 24/7, and most of the lands have electricity on them, and it makes it so beautiful. So one thing about this place also is that here is very calm. And if you are looking at living at a place with less noise, then if you're not by the roadside, if you're deep inside like the celestial area like this, then this place is very calm. So nobody will be there. There will be you will not be hearing sound of cars passing by making noise and all that. And in a residential deep inside the residential area like this, you could sell some food stuff like rice, vegetables, some yam and those stuff, and people would patronize because they would have to walk quite a distance to get some. So if you are able to set up a serious one over here, then why not? People would buy from you. Okay, so anywhere you find yourself, you need to brighten your corner, brighten the corner where you are. Okay, and make sure that you are useful to your society in any way that you could. Okay, so these are some of the things to consider. You see how beautiful Prampram is now, developing so rapidly, and huge projects. Okay, you see a wall, a land that is walled, so huge all around. You see, people are not looking at one plot here, they are looking at 1 acre plus. So you can see the smart move people are doing here. They are making smart moves over here. See, beautiful lands all over the place. Okay, and some have not been occupied yet. Their owners have not moved in yet, whilst some also have their residents inside. Okay, so Prampram is the kind of place that when you buy a land anywhere you can live. Okay, even at Chopoli, people have already moved into their houses there already, and that's the beautiful thing about buying lands in Prampram. And if you have not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe to this beautiful channel, okay? Because we will bring you what you want to see, and we'll be talking to you, we'll be jesting, okay? We will telling you what you need to do, okay? So please don't forget to click on the bell notification so that each time you upload a video you'll be notified and you get more gist, okay, about this place. And thank you even as you do so. Prampram, this is Prampram. Oh. So you can imagine, even now you see how the place is looking, so you can imagine in about few years to come this place is going to be better, okay, better than this. And if you look back and you realize that I should have bought the land here, a thing that you could do today and you don't do it, and tomorrow you realize, or it's something that you could have done yesterday and you realize today that it's not done, and yesterday's own could have been easier and now it's a little more difficult. You know that feeling, okay? And one thing about here is that building materials, the building material companies, they are so smart. They know that Prampram is a hotspot, so every 2 minutes you drive you see a building material company, okay, Pani agency company, and K4, talk of roofing sheets and all that, you don't have to bother at all. They are all available here in the Ningo Prampram district, okay? So if you're looking at, this is Prampram, inside Prampram proper, okay? Somebody's house is there, and there are some places that when you buy a land you can't even drive around the place, but Prampram is not so, okay? Over here, anywhere you buy your land, you could drive. Their roads are so well demarcated, and at least after every 2 houses there's a road over there, so it makes moving around here very, very easy, okay? So when you buy your sand or your blocks and you're transporting them here, and there are blocks factories everywhere, there are block factories located everywhere around here, so it makes the place so much easier to live and to build your house, okay? And these are some of the things you should look at, okay, before paying for a land. After doing all your checks, of course, after doing all your checks, this is the place to pay for a land, okay? So why not? Let's keep looking around. And let me continue to remind you that talking about fish, if you're the fish type, you like to enjoy fishes, okay? Because of the sea, Prampram is dripping with sweet taste fish. Talk of salmon, fried fish, salmon, any type, the red fish, all the fishes you could think about, okay? Prampram is dripping with beautiful taste, nice taste, very delicious fishes, okay? Whether smoked, fried, or, salted, they taste better than any other place. And the thing is, I can vouch on that, okay? So whether you want to go to the sea side and buy it fresh from the sea, and I told you, you can even select from the sea, okay? You just go, join the fishermen, go inside, when you see that fish and you think it is your type, you can just select it. You tell the fisherman, let's pick this one, pick this one, pick this one. That is totally, but I just told you that. So, back to business. This place is one of the best places to live, okay? And if you are the type that likes street food, there are a lot of street food and they taste better, and it's not the type of food that you eat and then you'll be having diarrhea. No, their food is hygienically prepared. Talk of correct kinke with fish, talk of wache, talk of beans and gari with some sliced cocoa, okay? Let me whet your appetite about Prampram. Yes, everything is here, okay? And their food tastes good and better, and it's quite cheaper as compared to town, okay? I have compared all of that, and so I'm going crazy about Prampram because I thought other places were better until I moved here. This place has a lot of good stuff going on, okay? And I promise you that. And I don't even feel like going back, okay? Here is good, honestly. So if you are taking advice from somebody, you should take it from someone who just didn't go somewhere for a day but has stayed for at least a year at a certain place and is now talking about the place. So that person knows what they are talking about, you understand? Okay, so I am that person, and I'm vouching on that for you, okay? Here is better than any other place, okay? Here is better. Talk of going to town, there are some places that when you live you have to struggle to get transportation and all that. No, it is the contrary at Prampram, because when you walk to the roadside, it's just beautiful. It's a few minutes walk to the roadside, and they'll be standing there, madam, where are you going? And you can just tell them if the bus is going towards where you are going to, then voila, then you just join. And if it's that particular bus is not, you just have to wait for the next one. There will definitely be one going your way, and then you join them, okay? So apart from living at a comfortable, serene atmosphere, life is easier here as compared to other places. I've not been to different places, but talking of Greater Accra, where cost of living is low and manageable, here is better, okay? And you could also build apartments, because as people, when you get your land here, you could build apartments, because as people are realizing, because of the pressure in Tema and Accra, a lot of people are moving to places like the Prampram and Dowenya, that lane, because rent costs better here, and cost of living is a little more considerable here, so people are moving here. So why don't you look at building an apartment here, okay? People are going to rent for you, okay, and live there. And the good thing about apartments is that it's not like selling a house, okay? The apartment will continue to be yours, continue to be your property until the person moves out. It is still yours, okay? So you should also look at that side, okay, when trying to buy a house or a land at Prampram. So those are some of the beautiful opportunities that you could look at over here, okay? Whether you're looking to buy a land at somewhere that you could take profit, somewhere that you could in a few years take profit in a few years, or somewhere that you could rent, use for business, build an apartment for renting, or somewhere that you could build a house and sell. Who doesn't want to own a house at Prampram? Somebody would definitely buy your house. Somewhere that you could live, a peaceful place to live and lay your head. Somewhere that when you close from work and you're coming back home, you come home with some joy in your heart. When you praise God, living at Prampram makes your spiritual life better. Waking up to a serene atmosphere with fresh breath and praising the Lord, that feeling, that feeling is breathtaking. And yes, the Ningo Prampram is blessed with all of that. Okay, so why don't you look here as well? Okay, and think of purchasing your house. And I have not still heard of people stealing and all that. Thieves are everywhere, but Prampram is better. Okay, sometimes you leave something, you forget to close your door, and by the grace of God, nobody tries to tamper with anything. And that doesn't mean that you have to play loose. So thieves are everywhere, but you just have to be careful. But there are some places that when you turn even when you dry your clothes, they will just come and pick the things from the drying line. But no, Prampram is not like that. I've never heard of such a thing over here before. And security wise, every evening by 6 or 5:45, all police barriers have police at post, so they are guarding this place 247. Okay, so immediately it's 5:45 p.m. the policemen are at post, and even in the morning they are still at post checking all the cars and all that. So security is here. Okay, security is check over here. So I no wonder the thieves are not much over here, so I'm not surprised. But of course, you still have to look out for yourself no matter what. Okay, so that's a guest house over there. Oasis hidden. Indeed, it's hidden because it is a little far away from town. This is inside, deep inside, like the center of Prampram. It's celestial, so this place is quite hidden. And the rainy season had stopped, so the rainy season is over, and people have burnt their land, all the bushes from their land. So the place is looking better. All the bushes are cleared and the place is nice. And not forgetting the topography of the land is leveled and very, very, very nice, very, very beautiful. Okay, so it's not the hilly type that when you are walking you easily get tired. Okay, this place is leveled and it's very, very beautiful. Okay, there are some places that are hilly, but most of the places are leveled. Mother Nature gave it to them very leveled. I kept asking, that's why did they use a grader to grade the whole place flat before trying to settle here? And they laughed at me for about 30 minutes because who does that? Okay, so as you can see, their lands are so leveled and very, very nice. Okay, and no dull moment over here. And they have an ECG company over here, so when you want to order for a meter, I think it's quite faster. Okay, so you just have to walk to the ECG here at Prampram, and it's a few minutes walk from the roadside. Okay, and it's just by the roadside, beside the polyclinic. Okay, the Prampram polyclinic. And let me not forget that, talk of health services, there are some places that when you live, finding a place to even go to the hospital becomes a problem. Yes, Prampram is blessed with a lot of clinics. They have the new Ningo Chips compound, the old Ningo Health Center. They have Prampram Polyclinic, as their referral point. They have a lot of clinics around. They have the Nibenya. If you are at Chupoli, when you get to the roadside, immediately you alight at Chupoli. And the beautiful thing is all their clinics are just by the roadside, so you don't have to go and alight somewhere and walk to go and find the hospital. No, when you get to the town, immediately you get to New Ningo, you ask of the Chips compound. It's just by the roadside. Okay, so when you tell the driver will just alight you and point out the place to you. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a plus for the Ningo Prampram district. So all their clinics are by the roadside, almost all. Okay, when you go to Dowenya, they have their Dowenya Health Center by the there's lands secretariat just by the roadside. When you are driving by Dorina, you can see that by the roadside. All these things are pluses, things you need to consider. Okay, when let's say you have a little child in the night, the child is falling sick, you don't have to go and drive through some bushes to find a clinic. No, all their clinics are by the roadside and a few minutes away from each other. Okay, every place is blessed with one clinic at least. Even at Dawa, they have a beautiful chips compound operating 247, and that's a plus. Then Igbenya Health Center is operating about 247, and that is a very, very, very beautiful thing. Okay, I was very, very impressed. All of that are pluses for this place. There are some places that when you live you cry. Even accessing a health center, it's so difficult. But this place, whoever is behind everything that is going on is a very wise person. In fact, kudos to all the Dangwis. I salute you all. Your land is blessed. Okay, and not forgetting how warm they are. They are so warm, so kind. It's not everything that I can say over here, but I'm very, very impressed with the Dangwis living here. This is the Dangwe land. They didn't go Prampram district. It's a Dangwe land. And they have a Dangwe rural bank by the roadside towards the polyclinic as well. And I'm very, very impressed. A lot of banks have their branches. The Fidelity has the Fidelity Bank, the GCB. Here is blessed. This place is blessed. I know a place, I don't want to mention the name. When you live there and you want a bank, a branch, you have to go all the way to Achimota or somewhere else, okay, to find a branch. No bank has located there, and that's a shame. Okay, and it is the contrary here. So all these, I'm not surprised that people are they are going all out in building houses here because they know that this place has a future. The Lingo Prampram district is blessed. And if you have a land here, you are blessed also. Okay? So, their Homo festival has ended. So, during the Homo, the town was dripping with beauty. People were celebrating all over, and now it's over. So people have gone back to the cities where some are living, or some diasporans even came all the way down here. And I'm not surprised that there are a lot of white people living here because they see the opportunities on this land and they have come to invest in it and also tap from the blessing of this place. So a lot of whites live here, and it's a beautiful thing. It's very, very beautiful. Okay, how they feel peaceful, and it shows it says something good about Ghana. Okay, Ghana is a very peaceful land. So why not the Lingo Prampram district? It's your preferred choice when it comes to buying a land. So why not? Okay, and if you have a land here and you are considering selling to take profit, I'm sure that's because you have a better, place over here. Okay, and yes, this is the best place. People are buying land hot. At this time, by the grace of God, we have helped a few people to secure lands, and to all our satisfied viewers, God bless you all, and we thank God that the business has been swift, and we give God all the glory. So you see how beautiful this place is. Yes, some of the sand over here looks like beach sand, and it's pipe-borne water is also here. Okay, so because of the beach sand, you can't do a borehole. It's to give you salty water because of its proximity to the beach. Okay, so you can use a filter in your borehole, but a lot of people are using the pipe-borne water. That's the safest. So this is Prampram Celestial, and the place is dripping with beauty. Have you seen the beautiful house over there? Yes, you too can become a landlord in the Lingo Prampram district, where your family could come and live and be grateful to God Almighty. Okay, so this is how far Prampram has come, and why you should buy a land here. Okay, here is so beautiful. And it's improving every day. Okay, it's improving every day. So it has been a beautiful long walk, looking around the beautiful Prampram district lands, and Prampram to be precise. And the place is very, very, very nice. Very nice. Everywhere is developed already. So if you came across your land in this video, give me a shout out in the comment section. Thank you even as you do so. Okay, so finally let's take a quick look around. Okay. All too soon, we are back on the smooth, beautiful road over here. Yes, this is the roadside by, the Prampram Celestial area. This place is also called Mandela. Okay, so this is the beautiful, smooth, tarred road that you'll be driving on when you finally buy your land here. Yes, so everything is here. The fire service, Ghana Water Company, the ECG, police stations and all that, they're all located here. So why not? Okay, so if you are considering buying a land in the Greater Accra region, then look here, okay, because you will not regret it. Okay, so we have come to the end of the video. This is We Are Ghanaians channel, bringing you nothing but the best. Okay, so if you haven't subscribed yet, then what are you waiting for? Kindly like this video and also subscribe to the channel, because we bring you this and more, things like this and more, of course, things like this and more. And if you have any request, please tell me in the comment section, and you know that your wish is my command. Thank you for staying with me. This is We Are Ghanaians channel, and I hope to see you in the next video, which is also going to be another wonderful one. And I hope that you'll be aboard when the video is released. And thank you, and keep looking up to this channel for more, insight into the Ningo Prampram district and more places in Ghana as well. So I'll be waiting for your comments. Thank you. Bye.